What's up, guys? Happy New Year, and welcome to episode 140 of Nintendo Power Block. We are starting 2019 with a bang. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrick, and alongside me, that retro code, Eddie Fresh.
Woohoo! Yes, it's so good to be back.
Yeah! 2019! Also, over here, the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
What's up?
Oh, man. Dude, it's 2019! 2019!
And I'm ready to go broke for January because there are about to be a ton of games coming.
Oh my gosh, dude, so many games in January. New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe, Travis Strikes Again, Tales of Vesperia. We've got Onimusha Remastered. For those who want that pseudo sequel to Wii Fit, there's that fitness boxing game that comes out on
Thursday or Friday. Class is getting the physical edition, and I'm so happy. I will be on Limited Run Games on the 18th.
Oh my gosh, man! There's so much, man. There's so much happening, so much going on.
Yes.
Plus we took a week off, and of course 9,000 things happened on the weeks that we're off. A bunch of rumors going around, which we'll tackle. The three big rumors kind of in one chunk. We've got a lot of questions for our giveaway, and I didn't even put that in the housekeeping, our giveaway. So, but anyways, we're going to start the show with the housekeeping like normal. First off, we're giving away Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes for Nintendo Switch. Remember to email the show and subscribe to the YouTube page. Email us a question for a question block for your chance to win and enter. We're trying to get that URL, that Nintendo Power Block URL for our YouTube page. All you have to do, subscribe, email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com, a question for question block, and you will be automatically entered to win. You will on the let's see what the date is for that. Man, I should have wrote this down. Too excited for 2019. Let's see. On the January 23rd, I lied. Hold on. This is the wrong year, guys. Wrong year. On the on the January 22nd episode, we will be announcing the winner and announcing our next giveaway. So get your questions in. Get them in now so we can announce the winner on that day. Could be you. Could be you.
Yes.
Next on housekeeping, Nindy Showcase is beginning this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on NGRradio.com and our YouTube page, the Nintendo Power Block YouTube page. You can check that out. Subscribe to check out the latest and greatest indie games you can play now on your Nintendo Switch. Also, you can catch up on last season by going to our YouTube page as well. It's a good time. Playing a lot of cool indies. There's a lot of great indies games out there, so check it out. Also, the NX Challenge officially begins. We have started a backlog challenge between me, Ed, and Jesse for Nintendo and Xbox games. Yeah. How do you?
And then
like that? That looks like an N, right? You can see Let's Plays and stuff of our backlog challenge on Arsenal X's YouTube page and Nintendo Power Block's YouTube page. So we're keeping score. We have a score bracket that we are kind of keeping score. So we'll probably explain it more on Arsenal X later. But we're keeping score, and whoever has the most points at the end of the year wins a big prize. So I don't know what that prize is yet, but we're going to get there. So
Yes.
that's also coming up. Also coming up, Pod and Play Season 4 starts on March 2nd with awesome games like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Spider-Man, Octopath Traveler, and more being featured. Come check out what the Nerds Gone Rogue crew has to say about these games. The previous 3 seasons are also on demand, so you can go to ngrradio.com and check out those episodes.
Get ready for some amazing in-depth discussions. Ooh.
Boy, Ed, we've had some pretty good discussions the last couple days. So, also, lastly, Nerds Gone Rogue is starting a few new shows and podcasts. Headlining the new podcasts are Standard Definition and Nostalgia Theme Show, which I will be hosting with usually one guest or one member of Nerds Gone Rogue, where we just kind of randomly talk about stuff. Maybe 2, we'll see. That show is starting in a few weeks, so I'm pretty excited for that. Dark Zone Junkies, a podcast about The Division and Rainbow Six, so you can check that out, which we just recorded our first episode. Pretty exciting. You can find that on podcast services and on Arsenal X's YouTube page on Sunday nights, I think is what we decided, so you can check those out. And Javelins for Hire, an Anthem podcast. We're pretty excited about those 2 games specifically. So, also our YouTube shows include NG Arcade, Ed Salute to classic arcade games, CubeTube, a GameCube Let's Play show, and Classically Trained, a retro gaming Let's Play show revolving around classic NES, SNES, Sega Genesis, N64, and whatever else we kind of feel like playing. Yeah, those games are coming. Just make sure you subscribe to all of our YouTube channels to figure out what shows you would like to watch, or just head over to ngrradio.com for all of our content. So, I'm pretty excited for all these new shows, guys. Pretty excited.
Yes.
Also, our quick looks and Let's Plays, random Let's Plays are also going up. So, that's it for our housekeeping. Make sure you subscribe to all of our podcasts and go to ngrradio.com for all of our content. Now we're going to get into what we've been playing. We're changing this segment up just a tad, just to keep it tighter. We're only talking about, the Nintendo games we've been playing, whether it's on Switch or 3DS or Wii U or classic systems. So, you know what, Ed? We're going to start with you. What have you been playing?
Okay, so I actually have to have my Switch with me. Guacamelee 2, I have been playing more of. Got through the first dungeon. Once again, Drinkbox, thank you. Thank you for the writing and the comedic style in this game. It's so funny. This game is, the gameplay is tight and it's good, and I love everything and all the new stuff that they added. But once again, they know how to do comedic timing so well. And even though the jokes are a little stupid at times, I continue to laugh while playing this game. Ended up picking up Luminous Remaster and a game called Revenge of the Bird King. Haven't started those yet, but they were on sale, so I picked them up. Played a little bit more Cyberlip, doing different areas and stuff, but it leads to the same ending. Of course, Super Smash Brothers. Played that on Christmas and literally had my first 3-way ball with my family, and I lost. And it was funny because I lost in front of my mom, my sister, and my brother. I'm considered as the game master in my family. It still is the game. It's still in the game master. Could just be a lot of stuff. But we don't know what happened. But I lost to my niece due to some item. We don't know. I literally was about to smash her out.
That's why you turn items off, Ed. That's why you turn items off.
That is true. But
it's like the blue shell. It's like the blue shell in Mario Kart, which I have a story to tell, by the way, after you're done.
Okay. But just really enjoyed it, and just hear everybody in the whole household go like, "Oh!" like it was an evil tournament in that mug. That's how everybody was. Also played Twinkle Star Sprites from the Neo Geo classics. Really liking that game, but getting my tail kicked at the end. Played a game called Dark Witch Music Episode Rudy Miko. it's a like music game, a music fighting game in a sense, where the buttons that you press correlate to the color of the weapons that are being thrown out to you. So you gotta kind of stay on beat and attack and stuff. And every time you do a correct attack on that item, or that enemy, you end up taking that boss's energy down. Say little more agrees. I'm probably gonna replay it some more because I'm trying to get all the special items that's in it to get the secret ending. Last but not least, played Bomb Chicken. I ended up picking that up. It's Bomberman 64 in 2D with a chicken, and it's great. It's really enjoyable. But pretty much that's all I have played for Switch. And then I'll be getting ready to do the NX challenge, and I cannot wait. I already have my first game, which is going to be Fire Emblem Warriors. I'm going to be working on that, and hopefully you guys will join me on the Facebook page of Nintendo Paw Block, and I will tell my progress there. So yeah.
Nice. Jesse, what have you been playing?
So after the holiday, my physical Switch collection basically doubled. I mean, mind you, most of the games that I got were technically for the kids, but like they're obviously though like games that I can play as well. So let's see. I've played a little bit more Gulf Story. I kind of was going back to that. I did get a physical copy of that, but I'm just kind of got it as a collector's item, just because it's a limited run, game, and Best Buy, has been starting to get their copies of limited run games in now. I don't know exactly how they're gonna do that. Because technically these games like Gulf Story and Ukulele, I got both of those, and both of those just recently came in, and I believe those were released a while ago. So I don't know if they're only going to get select games that Limited Run has done, or if like every couple of months they're going to release two different ones until they finally catch up to where Limited Run games is at. Like I don't know if you're going to eventually be able to get every single game that they've released through Best Buy at some point. I guess I don't really know how that's going to work, but I did get and play Gulf Story and Ukulele. I didn't play a lot of Ukulele, but so far I'm not having any issues with it. It plays, like you would imagine a Banjo-Kazooie game and stuff would play. It feels like a N64 game. It looks better, obviously, than an N64 game, but I'm enjoying it so far, and it's just, your typical just corny, goofy, like nonsense storyline that just doesn't make any sense, but it just is fun and funny to play through. So
How do you feel about Trouser Snake?
Yeah,
that was so funny. When that game was first announced and they were releasing art on their Instagram and their Twitter page, like that was one of the characters. I was like, okay, this is probably gonna be more like Conker than Banjo.
Yeah,
and like and then I like kind of forgot about it because I didn't get the game right away, and I got it when it was on sale on Switch a couple weeks ago. Or I don't know, like a month ago at this point. And then, like, when I turned the game on and realized that he's the guy that gives you all your moves and stuff, I was like, oh, yeah, this guy. It's funny. He's funny. So. Yeah. The character models in this game are great. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, a while back, we had
kind of talked. I forget what it was in that we talked about it, but we talked about like who our favorite Pokemon characters are and stuff like that. I think it was from a question that we maybe had for Powblock. But like I completely forgot. Like one of my favorite is always been the Zubat or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so like I really love the bat character in Ukulele, and like the model of that character is really good. I'm a fan of the character models in this game so far. So
yeah,
I'm gonna hopefully play that more here. That will probably be in my part of my challenge, playing that for sure. Because I definitely need to grab what I can of Switch games to add to the thing, because I got a lot of games to play on Xbox, but
right,
Switch, it's a little bit different.
Basically, Jesse wants to move more towards cartoony games instead of just shooting things all the time. Although yes. I do have to congratulate you on your 50 wins in blackout mode now, or whatever it is, because every time there's a couple times where you're just like, I won again.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's more like 5, but I mean,
yeah. I'm at 6 right now. I literally, what was it? Just last weekend. I was playing, and the one night I got 2 wins, almost back to back. So
yeah.
Man. But yeah. So I played those, Golf Story, Ukulele. I played a little bit of Starlink. There's a lot of games I've played since the last time we've recorded. I played a little bit more of Tropical Freeze. I played a little more of Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
Let's see. I played Starlink. I played a little Mario Party with me and my friends that got together a little while ago now, and we played some Mario Party. What else? Let's see. Well, we did. I kind of wanted to touch on this a little bit more elaborately, just because I think it's like kind of a cool experience that I recognize. But so I was kind of iffy on getting the Paw Patrol game for my daughter. She's 4. And she is just absolutely obsessed with Paw Patrol. She's for Christmas, she got a Paw Patrol pillow and all that. She's got almost all the toys and everything. That's really the only thing that she shows any kind of interest in, as far as characters and show type stuff. So I was kind of iffy, because it didn't seem like there was much to the game, as far as the character voices and things like that. But I ended up just getting it, and I'm really glad that I did, because that game is a really good game for kids who are just starting out and don't play games, at all or often, because they did it so everything, the controls are really good, and it's super basic, just a super basic platformer. Teaching kids how to double jump, how to collect things, how to just the basic motor skills of learning how to play games, kind of the the early Nintendo and stuff, kind of was mostly based around, because it it wasn't that complex, and they really did a good job with that game, because my daughter just does not have any interest in games whatsoever. All the other games, she'll say that she wants to play it, but then the second she starts playing it, she's already done, the Mario Kart, all that kind of stuff. And with this game, like, she just like wants to play it all the time now. So it's really been a good game for someone her age and someone who's into Paw Patrol to start off on. So I definitely suggest, like, if you have kids, and there's you want them to kind of try something for the first time to really see if they want to get into gaming, a little bit. And definitely if they're into Paw Patrol, it definitely is a good choice to pick for kids, younger kids. So yeah, that's mostly, pretty much what I've played.
Nice.
Oh, Pokemon Let's Go, I played that too as well, because we ended up getting that, and I'm enjoying that so far as well. I, again, like Ukulele, I didn't get a whole lot into the game yet, but I'm liking what it's doing so far. So
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I played a few games on the Switch the last couple days, or I guess the last couple weeks, I should say, because of we've taken a couple weeks off of everything, to be honest with you. So last night we went to dinner at my wife's friend's house, and they got a Switch for Christmas, and so it was really the first time I actually felt like there was like a Switch commercial happening, where we like, it was a couple adults and a couple kids, and we all snapped off the Joy-Cons and started playing Mario Kart with the Joy-Cons, and like, man, it's really fun just to like the realization of just like those commercials coming to life and just being like, oh yeah, this is how it happens, And so we played a lot of Mario Kart last night. It was a good time. And it's also like, we talk so much about Nintendo and Switch and video games in general, and we're kind of like into it, but it's always, I don't want to say weird, I think weird is the wrong word, but like, it's always a different atmosphere when you go in and people are like, aren't really into video games, but they play them occasionally, and it's like, we were playing Mario Kart, and like, I was trying to tell them how to like drift, and the differences between the items and stuff, and the settings and stuff, and then we were playing some Mario Kart, and then as soon as we were done, they popped the Joy-Cons into the holster thing, and the one kid started playing Minecraft, just kept going, like, man, Switch is a cool console, man. So and then when we were leaving, the family that owns the house, the one guy was playing, like, they subscribed to the Nintendo Switch Online stuff, and like, he thought that the NES stuff was like the coolest thing on the whole system. I'm like, man, for the amount of things that we kind of like complain about, is someone else's like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing ever. And it's like, it really put a lot of things into perspective, because like, we want Super Nintendo, we want GameCube, we want 64, we want remasters and remakes and stuff, and then there's just a whole section of people that are just happy playing Ninja Gaiden or Mario 3 on the NES. There's just that whole subsection of people that just don't care what's there. They're just happy that it's there, and it's like, man, maybe it made me really realize that, like, not us in particular, but we as a gaming culture really complain about a lot.
Yeah.
So,
man, that Ninja Gaiden, that brought so many back memories.
Yeah.
That dang eagle.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So, I mean, that's one thing I want to try to bring to this show in general this year, is like, I want to try to stay positive this year on a lot of things, just because I know we are generally positive about a lot of things, but there's some things that we complain about, and I want to be more positive about stuff this year. But the one thing I'm not going to be positive on right now, I was like, man, we're taking a big break. I can play some games, I can do some stuff. Nope, I purchased Roller Coaster Tycoon, and that's literally almost all I've been playing on Switch. Yep, I bit the bullet. I got a bunch of Nintendo gift cards for Christmas. I bought it, and man, what an enjoyable hot mess of a game.
I'm not gonna say anything about this section.
I mean, look, it's fun. It's fun to go into the sandbox mode and build your theme park or whatever. But man, when you have like more than like 5 rides going on at the same time in the same area of the park, like the frame rate drops somewhere between 10 and 12 frames a second. And I found a really bad bug. Like every time you try to build a fence and then go to erase one, like it just freezes the game. It just freezes the game, and you have to close the game and restart it.
Did Bethesda make that game?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know, right? But in general, like I am having a good time with it. I'm not sure it's worth $50, but I mean, if it was like 20, I would say get it. If you're into Roller Coaster Tycoon, it's a really kind of dumbed down experience. I want to say, like, you can build roller coasters on your own, but like they never, like the roller coasters, like they don't have to be structurally sound. Like it automatically like puts the chains on where like it feels unsafe. It makes all the rides like in 1, 2, and 3, you can basically murder people on the roller coasters.
Yeah,
you can't do that in this game. There's no way to build lines for the rides, so like people kind of just enter the ride, and it's like it has an automatic queue line inside the base of the ride. So it's like your roller coaster can have 500 people in line, and then there's like 360 people out of 500 in line, right? And that's kind of how it measures that stuff. It's a really simplified version. There are better Roller Coaster Tycoon games out there. Like I would say 1, 2, and 3 are superior games. But if you want like a newer park style game, there's a game called Parkitect, which is literally Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, but in like super HD glorious whatever, and there's a lot more customization options and stuff. It's not for Switch, it's only for PC, but like if you want that Roller Coaster Tycoon experience, I would recommend that instead. But unless you have a deep love for the series like I do and spent the money into play it, I've probably spent at least 15 hours into this game already.
Okay.
So it's fun. It's not great. It's not good. It's borderline not even okay. It's just I like
interesting.
I like the sandbox mode and building parks. The scenario and adventure modes are kind of a mess. The scripting is really weird. Like sometimes you reach a goal and then it doesn't read the goal that it doesn't say that you've met the goal, like in some aspects of the campaigns. So just be wary of that. But the sandbox mode is really fun. So yeah.
Have you played the free mobile version?
Yeah, it's that version.
It is that version, like where you basically like when you have to upgrade each ride to like this ride can now, when you upgrade it, have 7 people ride it.
Yep.
At a time and things like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's that version, right. But in sandbox mode, all that stuff is unlocked.
Yeah.
So
because that's the one thing about the mobile one is like there's so much of those collecting those cards to try to unlock new things, and you can't use like certain things unless you have like they made it like ridiculous amounts of money that you have to make in order to be able to build anything. Mm-hmm. Like, is it still kind of like that as well though, like where you need to make a lot of money in order to be able to build any of those things?
It's I think so. I haven't really gotten far enough in the adventure modes, in the campaign modes to like really see those things fleshed out, but
Okay.
From everything that I've read online, this is a straight up port of the mobile version. With like a few tweaks here and there, and making it, instead of a free to play game, they just have everything in there for $50. You know.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah. So. But. Anyways, that's kind of all I've been playing. I have been playing some. A Link Between Worlds on 3DS. I started it last night for like an hour. Dude, I feel like I need to play A Link to the Past first. So that's going to be my first challenge game, I think, is A Link to the Past. So we'll see how that goes. Since I've never beaten it. And
Wait, what?
dude, we've had this discussion.
Oh yeah, we did.
Anything that's available on Super Nintendo besides Turtles in Time, I've probably never beaten. So
I've always been the same way. There's some, like, I've always wanted to play so many different things and I've never finished any of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I there's a lot of Super Nintendo games on my backlog challenge list, and A Link to the Past I think is going to be my first backlog challenge stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to be using them guides. Going to be messaging Ed. Ed, I need you. So.
Did either of you have get the NES controllers for Switch?
I did not.
No,
I didn't.
No, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see those. I got to see those in person over the holiday because my sister's fiance ended up getting them, and they're pretty sweet.
Nice.
I would like to get them eventually.
Nice. All right, we're going to move into our news bits here. There's a couple of stories I'm going to mash together here just for time's sake, and because we have a few questions we want to get to for question block that are important because of our giveaway. So
Yes.
Our news bits here. A lot of rumors this last couple weeks, especially this week. So I'm gonna read the story from Nintendo Life. Persona 5 Switch rumors intensify. Since Joker was announced as the first DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, there has been much speculation about Atlus bringing Persona 5 to Switch. On the same day as the reveal, a rumor surfaced suggesting a Switch port of this game has been in consideration for the past year, and the final title would be based on one of the domains recently registered by Atlus. More recently this month, the Japanese publisher assigned to the IP address to P5R.jp website and revealed other Persona 5 domain names appeared over the weekend. Mystic Distance, the source of much of this information, believes the next Persona-related announcement is likely to happen on the 30th of December. Now, as of this recording, the 30th of December is tomorrow. So, I don't know, maybe we'll have like a separate video on our YouTube page if something happens. But, obviously, over here in North America, there's usually a mini direct or some sort of Nintendo Direct during the first week of, or first or second week of January, which Ed and I will be doing a mini block on at some point. So during the week, or if it happens next week, Jesse.
Yeah, I could join you guys.
You could join us. So
I hope it happens next week.
I know, me too. But there's a quote. It says, "We know that we'll be getting the first official info on the Persona Super Live 2019 concert event and a public commercial following the P5A Dark Sun OVA. I'd also expect a teaser for P5R during this as well, due to the recent move over to dedicated servers. There's also some information on separate websites where, the IP address handles updated versions with new features, new characters, and then it says portable version. And I doubt that would be the Vita at this point. So, but anyways, so that's the Persona rumor. There's a couple other rumors where The Witcher 3 has been rumored and listed for Nintendo Switch by a French retailer. Of course, the French retailer is called WTT, so take that with a grain of salt. And an Assassin's Creed compilation has been listed by a German retailer for Nintendo Switch. Now, there's been a few compilations of Assassin's Creed. There's been the Ezio trilogy, which would probably be my guess to come to Switch at some point. There's the American collection, which is 3, Black Flag, and the Vita game Liberation. So that is also one of the possibilities. So a lot of rumors this week. Thoughts on these games coming? Do you think these are possible? What's the most possible? What's the least possible? I mean, for me, The Witcher 3 is the least possible. I highly doubt The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch, but it would be cool.
I would actually say Assassin's Creed would be least possible. I think Witcher, CD Projekt Red. I think right now we have to find out who will be doing the porting, because they're focusing on Cyberpunk at this time. Persona 5 for Switch, I don't think that's going to be happening, because they want to get Shin Megami Tensei 4, I think 4 or 5 or whatever, the one that they announced when they first showed the Switch. I think they want to get that one out before focusing on Persona 5 on Switch. So, I kind of think
none of them.
No, I think the Ubisoft would be more likely to come. I think I won't say least possibility, but I think Witcher 3 and Persona 5 are in the same boat, that they could come out, but I don't think they're ready to come out due to the fact that they are busy with other works at the time. So whoever does the porting, we need to know who's doing that porting work.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I think with all of these is that it wouldn't be the actual people who would probably be bringing it to it.
Yeah,
it would be someone that they've hired to port it out.
And Atlas,
most likely.
And like I said, Atlas doesn't want to let anyone else do that porting. Atlas themselves will do the work and put it out on Switch. Yeah. I think it's just that they got Shin Megami and works for Switch. They want to bring that out, and probably after that, then they can bring the Persona 5. They can announce it, but bring it out, I don't think.
Yeah,
we'll see it anytime soon.
I think for me, I think Persona 5 is the most realistic out of all these to come to Switch. I think they've been working on some sort of thing for PlayStation for a long time for this updated version. I do think Persona 5 R is real. If it comes to Switch, I think it's going to be a nice bonus for everyone. But that Persona team is, I don't want to say small, but they have multiple projects in the work already, including Shin Megami Tensei 5 and the Catherine Full Body remake for PS4. Because they did confirm that is the Persona team doing that. So I would like Persona 5 R to come to Switch, but I think The Witcher is the least likely, and I think if an Assassin's Creed compilation comes to Switch at some point, I think it's going to be one of the older compilations. Do you think that Panic Button has enough experience to bring Witcher 3? I think if someone's going to do an open world game like that, no offense to Panic Button, I love what they've done with Wolfenstein and Warframe specifically recently. But in terms of an open world porting house, I think Iron Galaxy, who ported the remastered version of Skyrim over, I think Iron Galaxy would be the team to do it, just because they have the open world experience in terms of porting open world games. But at the same time, like, dude, The Witcher, like, they're still sending updates out for that game for like quality control purposes, like making the combat feel more fluid, they just put out the Xbox One X HDR update, like, they are still putting out updates for that game, and it's like, that game is so big, how would you even try to port that down?
and like I said, I think after they released the 64-bit cartridges, I think that's when, if a possibility happened, and I agree with you, Iron Gas, you could do it. I think that's how Witcher 3 would come out.
Mm-hmm.
It would be on the bigger cart than what's currently out. So maybe we may see it at a E3 Nintendo Direct. Possible.
I wanna put. I'm gonna just reserve The Witcher 3 as maybe at some point. We'll just put it there. I still think just the way Nintendo's been working with Atlas recently and bringing Joker to Smash, like, that makes me think Persona 5 is the most likely. But also, Ubisoft has already confirmed that they have a couple projects in the works for Switch, so maybe the Assassin's Creed is one of them. Or maybe it's a sequel to Mario plus Rabbids, which would be amazing. But we're gonna move on to this next story. This also comes from Nintendo Life. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night development has reached its peak. This comes from a blog post update and a Kickstarter update. I'm going to read a couple quotes here from them. WayForward have already helped us improve the game in a number of ways, including creating incredible assets and lighting placements that we're looking forward to. The team is working on fine-tuning enemy placement throughout the game. The polishing effort is a very important and delicate step. Moving the spawn point from a creature 5 steps in either direction or adding an additional creature can have a big impact in the flow of the level. It takes a lot of trial and error to get it just right, and we want it to be just right. In order to get this point, a huge amount of work had to be completed. Level layouts, enemies, animations, assets, combat systems, etc. Due to WayForward's help on crushing bugs, asset creation, and lighting, each level is being made to play better and look better at the same time. They said they're still aiming for a 2019 release date. IGA has revealed that WayForward has been doing a lot of more work on this game than we originally anticipated, which is great because they're a great developer. So, how I know, Ed, you're probably more excited for this game than I am, but I think this game has had an interesting development process, and I don't think they want a Mighty Number 9 situation on their hands.
Yes. I think because of them, like WayForward doing the Batman, because of the way that it looks, its style, you could probably see that a little bit in Bloodstain, and them doing the Mummy Demastered, having that, like, them working with WayForward is probably the best news I heard from this whole thing yet. And I think them working with WayForward is going to make the game, when it actually comes out, people are going to be like, you guys went from a small Kickstarter to this almost feeling like a AAA game, or a double A game. So I'm happy that maybe we'll see it in summer. I think a summer release will do it fine. But I'm happy on the progress.
Yeah, I'm glad they're being kind of open about the progress of this game, just because, like, some people are kind of worried because they've brought extra development in, but you got to do what you got to do to make the game better, So,
and I kind of wonder if Circle of the Moon actually helped them to get WayForward on.
Yeah. So, Jesse, any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, yeah, this, like, I've always kind of been interested in this game since, like, when we first seen it. So, like, for me, I'm just, like, no rush. Like, I never really care if games, these days get take a little bit longer to happen, because, like, like games like Dead Cells and stuff like that kind of, took time to finally come to fruition or whatever, end up being, it just is better, when they can take the time that they need to create it. So I'm glad that they're, like for me, all I want is updates. Let us know what's going on, like, kind of like what they're doing. And I'm fine with it. Like, if it's gonna look better and play better, if they're gonna make some changes, that's all good news to me. So I'm excited to see what comes of it all. So
yeah. All right, our last news story of the day from Game Informer. Additional tough levels are heading to Celeste next year. Basically, they're adding a very hard mode, and they're adding all kinds of new hard levels in 2019. Also, if you have an Xbox One, it is headlining January's games with gold, so there's no reason for you not to download it for free on Xbox, although the Switch version is very good as well. Also, if you buy the Switch version, you support the developers. So, either way, just saying, Celeste, good game. Any thoughts on this before we head into question block? I think it's cool that they're still supporting the game, but
yeah,
I have no opinion on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just good that you're getting new stuff. It's always good to get new stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna move into question block. Remember, you can enter our contest to win Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes on Nintendo Switch. You can email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com, a question for Question Block, and subscribe to the YouTube page. Hit that button, hit that bell, send us a question. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple.
Yes.
Our first question comes from Mecha Man JC. Thanks for subscribing. He subscribed last night at 4 a.m. Or this morning at 4 a.m. So just made the question today. So he asks, what's your pick on the next DLC newcomer Smash realistically? Man.
So I have to approach it in this sense. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And it would be odd if Nintendo jumps away from Japanese developers and publishers to bring in someone realistic.
Well, I think he says realistically as in like not like not
like Master Chief.
But,
Master Chief.
Right. But that's why I said to jump out of Japanese developers. Like realistically, like if we're going to get the next character, I think it's going to be someone from UK, Germany, or or here in America. Realistic, because if they bring another Japanese developed character out, there's not too many companies that could go for it. Like the next person I expect would be Ryo Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. That's well known from Team Ninja.
I was thinking the same thing, especially since they kind of rekindled their relationship with Team Ninja with the Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
No, game. Actually, with Hyrule Warriors.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like in terms of Team Ninja.
Working together.
Team Ninja is back in the conversation with Nintendo. Outside of Fire Emblem Warriors and Hyrule Warriors, like they're back in the in the news again.
I think because of them working with Nintendo, Team Ninja has come. Yeah, the Marvel Alliance. I need a date for that so I can pre-order it. I might have to do it on Amazon because I want that day one physically. I gotta have it. I was thinking about this, and sorry, I know this is not going to be realistic, but I kind of would like to see Shepard from the Mass Effect games.
This guy.
To come.
This guy. Just making stuff up now.
But who would Nintendo do outside of Japan realistically that everybody will want to see here in America?
Banjo.
If Nintendo.
Shovel Knight.
Well, they got Shovel Knight as you want him as a.
I don't care.
He works.
If he's not a fighter, he doesn't count.
He literally works in that game, so he has to be in the game for next Smash. Like Shovel Knight just works, but I it's very weird to see them going to Insomniac because I would like to see something like that. But I'm just like, what if Nintendo actually went to EA and talked to them and Bioware to be like, we want to really knock everybody off the floor, and we would like to have a shepherd in the game. If they could get Mass Effect into Smash,
with the announcement of a Mass Effect trilogy for Switch, that'd be great.
you better preach.
Man, Jesse, what about you?
I don't know. I've kind of been throwing like things around in my head, and like it's probably an easy out, an easy pick, but I kind of would like to see them bring the Mario Rabbids like characters into it, like actually have like where you could be like Mario, you know, like Mario Rabbid, Luigi Rabbid, and Peach Rabbid.
What
like,
if they did?
like
What if
actually,
they did the Bowser
the
Jr. thing?
Kong.
What if they did the Bowser Jr. thing where like it's just one character, but like, you know,
You can switch
Bowser
it up.
Jr. you can switch to any one of the Koopalings.
Yeah, like that's what I was kind of like imagining it. It would probably have to be as well. It would have to be a character that you can kind of, you know, like adjust, like like change the different, you know, flip through the different things. So then that way people could play the same character, but they could be whatever one they want to be.
Do you think they could go to Data East and bring like Karnoff and the Bad Dudes, or
God, Bad Dudes. Well, they just made it Bad Dudes level.
Peppers, or what's his name from Burger
Burger Time?
Yeah.
They could, you know, that's a possibility. They could have a Burger Time level in Smash. It would work. That's the weird thing.
Yeah.
Last but not least, maybe the guy, people might not know, there was a game called Vigilante by Irem, where you said the woman named Madonna, or maybe Jimmy Lee and the Lee brothers
From
Double Dragon.
Have they had Pac-Man in Smash at all yet?
Yeah,
he's in there.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, he was when they announced.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they have the amiibo too of Pac-Man.
Yeah, when they announced the Smash for Wii U, he was in, because I think he was like the first when they first announced it for Wii U. I think he was like part of the first trailers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What about Waluigi and Wario? Have they had them in there yet?
Wario's in there.
Waluigi
Everybody
is the most requested. Waluigi.
Yeah. Yeah, Waluigi is my favorite, so of course I'm gonna want him too.
Wow.
It's a possibility that he could be in there.
Yeah.
For me, I think Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is kind of I feel like, you know, he does. They have a Mii costume, but that's like, come on, that's ridiculous. I think we need Wart from Super Mario Brothers 2.
Ooh.
I think
I'll do the rat.
Celeste.
I think Birdo. I'm actually really surprised Birdo's not in the game already as like an Echo Fighter for Yoshi.
Because Birdo's in there on part of the stage of Super Mario Bros. 2.
I don't care. If they're not a fighter, they don't count. I don't need these assist trophies or
No, he literally comes out on the stage. It just shoots. He's not an assist trophy or any ad. He's like put on the stage.
It's a level thing, so it doesn't count. I
can't win without nothing.
I think let's see here. Any of the Mega Man bosses, I think would be cool. Like Cutman, I think, or you know, one of the Mega Man bosses, or Mega Man X even. Like just throw Mega Man X in there, or Proto Man, or Zero. Like, you know what I mean? Like any of those characters, I think would fit in there.
Bionic Commando on
Tim.
Vicar.
I want Tim from Braid in there.
No.
Yes. He's
right.
basically Mario.
Let's get to the next question.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next question. Deshaun Malone writes in and says,
I can't stand you, Jesse.
do you guys think the Switch will see a new top-down Zelda or 2D Metroid game during the generation? What would you want to see from those iterations? I mean,
no.
I think I don't know if we're gonna see a 2D Metroid, honestly. I want to. Don't get me wrong. I would really love to see it, but I think the only 2D Metroids we're going to get are going to be part of the Nintendo Switch Online games system, whatever. You know, whether it's the Game Boy Advance games or the Super Nintendo thing or whatever. I think it's definitely more likely to see a 2D top-down Zelda. Will we see a new iteration? Man,
No,
I don't know. I think Breath of the Wild kind of took Zelda in such a new direction that, like,
yes,
if we're gonna see a 2D Zelda game, it's gonna be a port of A Link Between Worlds. To be honest with you,
I think whenever their next dedicated handheld is, we'll see the 2D Zelda and we'll see the 2D Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Switch has Metroid Prime, and like you said, Corey, the Breath of the Wild, and then the Zelda team is already working on the new Zelda.
Plus,
it wouldn't make sense to bring those games there now.
Plus the heavily rumored Metroid Prime HD trilogy too.
Yes.
Which
now
I can't believe that's not announced yet.
Now, if they want to, they could do the They could do the 2D collection for Switch where you have Zero Mission, Fusion, and Seven's Returns. They could do that. But as for new ones, Switch has two new games coming from that series. So they wouldn't need a 2D iteration for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of would like to see it like the end of Switch's cycle, maybe even what if they were to come out with like a greatest hits of like 3DS games, like where they re-release some 3DS games eventually, like port them to the Switch, like games that could port over without having issues, without the double screens, I could see them having Metroid and like some of the big hitters like that come over.
What would be cool if they're going to do a top-down Zelda, they're going to take the idea from Super Mario Party and connect all the Switches, and that's your dungeon layout.
I think if we see a top-down Zelda, it's going to be more of a Four Swords or Triforce Heroes style thing.
Yeah. Four Swords would definitely.
By the way,
much better work on there.
Actually, Corey, speaking of
Triforce Heroes, guess what? I forgot to say what I was playing on 3DS last night. Metroid Prime Federation Force. I loaded it up.
I was about to say that would probably be cool in a 2D format, still using the same Mario Party thing, doing a Metroid Prime, the game that you play, do a sequel that way, and everybody do like a 2D, and you can see how everybody moving together in a labyrinth.
Yeah.
All using all their switches. They could do that. Or if they want to still do it in the first person, yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Metroid Builder. A Metroid Builder game.
Yeah. Don't.
No, I'm not so ready for that.
Next question before Ed gets down this deep rabbit hole.
No, because Corey would know that, like, Jesse, I would already need to pre-order your idea already.
All right, our next question. We got 2 more questions left. Let's make it quick because we're running out of time for multiple reasons. Ashley Davidson writes in and says, do you guys ever wonder why older Nintendo consoles don't gain love until after the next generation is out? For example, no one bought a Wii U, but now all I see are people asking how they can get one or paying crazy prices for the console now that it's gone. Same for GameCube. Thanks for the awesome show.
Oh, everybody has... actually, you know what? Me and Jesse was talking about this. By the time of this recording, me and Jesse was talking on a Friday night, and we was talking about rebellion of video game systems. We was talking about like the Xbox One, how there's a rebellion there and stuff. And I kind of think that there is a rebellion of Nintendo systems because people focus on Sony and Microsoft being these powerful systems and having all this third-party support and everything. And it's just like there's some set of regret because of the rebellion of not picking up a Nintendo console. They hear great things. They wonder why still Nintendo old consoles and old games still cost a lot because some of their systems and games becomes a collector's item. But there's a sort of regret from people's rebellion and ideal of games at that time. So they want to play catch up. And in order for them to play catch up, they definitely got to shell out money to get it. And then when they touch it, they be like, I should have played this when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But due to the way that
Speaking of GameCube and Wii U, the Wind Waker was that game for a long time where everybody hated it. And I'm going to be honest with you, that's not the game I wanted from the next Zelda game after playing Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask. But which is weird. Once you play the game, like, you realize it is really one of the better Zelda games of all time.
Which is weird because you're an artist.
I know.
I love art and I love cartoons. And so that animated look, I didn't really care about the animated look. I was getting a new Zelda for Miyamoto and I was getting it on GameCube. Mm-hmm. So I had to have it.
I think I wouldn't have been disappointed in Wind Waker at first if they wouldn't have shown that Space World demo of Link fighting Ganon in the Ocarina of Time style, but in super awesome graphics. Remember that demo that they showed with they showed like Luigi's Mansion and Mario 128, which is funny because that game actually ended up becoming Pikmin. But that Zelda demo was amazing.
And that look of the game was just to show what the GameCube may be able to do in the future. Mm-hmm. Didn't say that was what it was going to be. It was just showing you an idea. And that's what some systems sometimes do.
It's like the Wii U version of Zelda also. Remember that tech demo they showed of him fighting the Goma? And then we ended up getting Breath of the Wild. And people wanted that Zelda game. And we ended up getting Breath of the Wild, which is like... After the Wind Waker thing, I was like, you know what? If they do this again, I'm fine with it. And Breath of the Wild ended up being, I'm trying to. I've been trying to write stuff for a while, but it's dude, with a kid, it's awfully hard to try to balance everything. But like, I wanted to do a 2019 or 2018 version of my favorite games of all time, and like, I think Breath of the Wild is going to be towards the top, if not the top game right now, because that game was so much fun. And like, I'm glad we got that game instead of, the Wii U tech demo.
Like, if I had to do anything like that, and not just say 2018 or anything, but like kind of this generation, Breath of the Wild would be number one for me. Last Guardian would be number 2, where Iconoclast is 3, and Horizon Zero Dawn is 4. Mm-hmm. Like those Forza Horizon 5, Forza would be another one, but like Halo 5, that would be my number 6. Like Halo 5 surprised me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, like, getting back to this topic, like she said games receive hate and then love when the systems are, the next generation is out or whatever. But it also goes the other way. Remember how many people loved Twilight Princess when it came out, and now everybody hates it for some reason? It's like, oh, it's like the worst Zelda game. And like, Skyward Sword was the same way, where it got 10s across the board, and now people like hate it because of the motion controls. Like, I don't know. It's just this weird thing that people revisionist history, man. People just love that revisionist history.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the thing is too, like, the Nintendo has been really good about porting those games and making a better version of them and bringing them to the next console. So I think that's kind of what's happening, is people are seeing these better versions of those games and then getting curious about the original of it, and then wanting to go back and and look at some of those games, like like all these ports of the Wii U games that have come to Switch have made me interested in like the Wii U more than than I was when it came out. I think that's the thing, is it's bringing like these, like Nintendo does the whole porting, and then it just kind of brings people to be interested in those old consoles again. And they've kind of they did that with Ocarina of Time, was redone on the GameCube and stuff like that. And then like GameCube games that have been redone and and made the like the Metroid HD collection and things like that. Like it just makes people want to go back. Or even just like the newer Pikmin game, like if like people that didn't play didn't have a GameCube and never played the original Pikmin games, like they're seeing the new ones come out and now they're going to be interested in playing that first one. But unfortunately, in a lot of ways, the only way you can do it is by getting an older system in order to be able to play them. So I think that's the thing, is like Nintendo, like all of their IP have such a long history that like when newer stuff comes out, people get interested that maybe are new to are younger. They're not quite up on all the Mario games or all the Pikmin games, so they're going back and wanting to try some of that older stuff to see how it all started. And like I think that's kind of like with us, we love playing like the Nintendo, the NES Classic and things like that. It's giving people a chance to go back and play games on the system that they never owned because they just are too young or whatever. So
yeah,
I think that's part of it.
Still, the best way to play Pikmin 3 is with the Wii Remote Nunchuck. The best use of the Wii Remote Nunchuck is Pikmin 3. I will stand by that. Game. I will stand by that until they come out with a better way to do it, because you can lay the gamepad down with the map on your lap, and just it's also the only way you can run and throw at the same time. So.
That is
I wonder if that's where that tech comes for Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go, the whole throwing motion type thing. Because wasn't that the main thing of it? Like was you were kind of throwing the Pikmin where you wanted them and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
So. All right, we're going to get to our last question here. Matt Bauer writes in and asks, do you think the classic consoles are really over?
Nope.
No, I think Nintendo will end up making an N64 Game Boy soon. I think Nintendo likes to keep things really close to the vest, and I know they said that the NES and SNES were stopgaps between the Wii U and the Switch, but there's a demand for these things and people want them. I love my NES and SNES Classic. Thank you, Ed, for the NES Classic. I will never be able to repay you ever for that, but I guess I could just give you $60 and say thanks. But
nah.
But you know what I mean. Like those consoles are cool. I think the N64 and the GameCube are the two that people are really waiting for.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't think they're over by a long shot.
Yeah.
Now PlayStation and Sega's efforts in these classic consoles
and
might
that's
be
what
over.
And that's what I was about to say. I don't let what happened with the PlayStation and even Sega and Atari like classes. Don't let that distract you from not thinking that these classic systems are over. They're still going to continue to do it. It's just that Nintendo got it right, and others tried to hop on the bandwagon and didn't really take into account what really goes all into it to making those systems. Yeah. So I think I don't think it's going to be an end of it. I really think that the N64 and maybe the GameCube, maybe some later ones, I think they still will come, but just maybe not right away at this time. And if it is over, we got two good classic systems that's going to be available for a long time until they're also out.
Yeah, Man, I still wish there was a better way to play GameCube games right now, though.
I'm still holding out for that.
What? Sorry.
Oh, I was still holding out for that Game Boy Advance Classic.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. Jesse, any thoughts on the classic consoles?
Yeah, I mean, I could see them doing like a Game Boy or something next, something like that. You know, like kind of keeping it to because if they could make something that's handheld, like I think it would sell much more. Like, because I mean, there's a lot of like cheapy knockoff brands out there who are making these things that you can get that have like all the Nintendo, games on it and stuff like that.
Appreciate
that. So like I think they could definitely make a handheld, game system like the Game Boy or whatever classic, and I think that would probably be an even bigger hit than the NES and the SNES classic, just because of the portability and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's all of our questions for this week. Remember, you can email the show at nintendopalblock@gmail.com to enter our contest and ask us a question for Question Block, and subscribe to the YouTube page. We're only 10 subscribers away, so help us get there. We're only 10 away from that special URL. So please come subscribe. It'd really help us. Even if you're just an audio listener, you can click the link below and subscribe. But that's going to do it for episode 140. Hope everybody had a happy holidays and awesome New Year's celebration. Remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block every Tuesday at 10 a.m. or 7 a.m. on your podcast service of choice. And check out our YouTube page for awesome Nintendo content, and ngrradio.com for all of our content. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Nintendo_PBlock. And you can also join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Nintendo Power Block, for awesome Nintendo conversations with fans and friends. So come check all that out. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PhantomMaggotAX.
Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at TheCode, and you can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Google Play, and other podcast apps. Also check out Arsenal X on the Arsenal X channel, and Pod and Play and other stuff. Yes, you can check me out there and stuff. And also, everybody, have a happy New Year's as this episode is dropping.
Yeah. You can find me at CoreyandHD86 on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on twitch.tv/CoreyandHD. You can find me on the other some of the other podcasts as well. Subscribe to all those channels. Download our family of podcasts, including Nerds Gone Rogue, Arsenal X, our Xbox podcast, Nerds Gone Platinum, our PlayStation podcast, and as of this recording, our new podcasts, Javelins for Hire, our Anthem podcast, and Dark Zone Junkies, our podcast about The Division and other Tom Clancy games such as Rainbow Six Siege. So download those podcasts today on your podcast service of choice. You can also find the video versions of Dark Zone Junkies and Javelins for Hire on Arsenal X's YouTube page and Nerds Gone Rogue. So check out ngrradio.com for all of our content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Finger bang.
Oh, no.
A finger bang you into my life.
Wow.